Hey guys, it's week 155, getting really close to launching my new app that I mentioned in my last video. I just gave my first demo to a live person about the app, and it really made a lot of things click into place. A lot of things I realized that I still need to get over the finish line before I can get this launched. So I'm really close. I want to walk through today what I do whenever I build an app, some of the stages that I go through, and kind of reflect back on some of the apps that you guys have seen me build. So let's jump into it. Stick around till the end, and I'm going to give you guys a demo of what I've got almost ready to launch. First, I wanted to tell you guys that I did come up with a name for the app. So to catch everybody up, and if you're a new subscriber, to give you a sense of what I'm doing here, the idea for this app is a financial simulator that can show you multiple versions of your future. So by being able to tweak and toggle assumptions about your income, expenses, and simulating life events like a new job or a new kid or starting a side business, you get a bird's-eye view of your whole financial life, helps you uncover weaknesses, and ultimately gives you a way to make plans that are highly realistic. So to set an aspirational, hopeful tone for this app, I've decided to call it Futurez. I love that it's one word. I love that it's easy to spell. I have to add an Z to that, but that's fine. I love that once it takes hold, it's going to be easy to secure those top SEO spots. There's not a lot of competition for that kind of a word, but mostly I love that it immediately hits you with this mysterious concept that we've all spent a lot of time thinking about. The future can be either exciting or scary, but either way you feel about it at any given point, I think most people would agree that they want some kind of control over it. And this app really delivers on that promise. Let's talk about the stages of building an app. The first stage is the idea. So get really excited about something, you start seeing something that could be, you're uncovering the future a little bit. What problem are you solving? Is it for businesses? Is it for customers? What kind of businesses? Who's going to be the one to actually pay you, and can they pay you? The next phase is the design phase. This is where I go into Figma and create designs of the main bits of the experience. I start discovering what feels right for the look and feel and personality of the app, and I start creating flows between the various sections and see if something compelling is starting to shape up. And if it is, I create a very rough first marketing page to see if I can sell it, if I can design something that would sell the idea. This is a really challenging part because you don't know the idea well enough right now to really do it right, but it is important to get your mind into that place of like, okay, this has to be sold, so how do I position this product not just as something cool, but as something that somebody's going to buy. And if I feel good after that design phase and I'm still really pumped, I go into building. From many years ago, I used to always build the database first as an engineer. I never do that now. I always do that last. So I start with the user experience. Only focus on what is the main part of this idea. I don't do database work. I don't do user management, signups, logins, none of that stuff. It's all managed through really simple state in the browser. Like session storage is a great way to fake this in an app. As you're building it, you're either going to get more and more excited, or it's going to start to feel lame and stale. And these are the signals that you need to be paying attention to. These are, you got to stay honest with yourself so you can be like, maybe I should not sink any more time into this, or I feel great about this, right? Keep all those feelings flowing through you. It's where I take a short break if I can muster my excitement and just hold on for a second, because clearing your head out of this state and like clearing the cache in your own brain, you may find that even as short as a 48-hour break, you come back in and feel like the magic's gone. That's a signal that you may not have this right. If you can take a vacation, that's even better, because you totally get your head out of the space. You come back into it and be like, hey, what was I working on? Oh yeah, this is awesome. Or like, this doesn't feel quite as cool as when I was building it. After that short break, it's starting to get to be time to get honed in on the name and the branding. The whole time should be thinking about what's a good name and like what feels right for the look and feel and personality of the app. But only now do I really start getting really focused on it. I really want to feel the app breathing before I give it a label. And then every time I think I found something that worked, I'm going to sit on it for at least 24 hours. And that is because a lot of times you find a domain that's available, you're like, yes, we're going to go with this. And then you sit on it later and you're like, that's boring. Like, it's not really right, That time, you need to take that time and reflect. After I've done that for one phase, that's when I design some kind of a logo or some kind of a symbol so that I can feel what it's going to look like in real life. And then I sit again on it for another 24 hours or maybe even a little bit longer. And that'll tell you if it's right or if it's just too weak. And then when you say it to somebody, when you say, hey, I'm building this app, it's called Dropboard. Does that feel good? Does it feel weird to say it? Does it reflect what you're trying to do? Just saying it to another human, you'd be surprised how quickly that makes you go, oh, man, that's not right, Or like, yes, this feels good, right? And again, names don't have to be perfect. Then it's time to register the domain. You feel good about it. get that locked down, build the basic design assets for the logo, starting feeling really good about that, and then start getting email accounts set up because that takes a little bit of time to get those things warmed up and ready. You want that to be ready to go when it's time for launch. And now it is time to round out the product. This is sort of the meat part. You've given yourself some beats. It's time to do the database work, do the user registration and log in, log out, session management. This is you go from the heart of the experience to the full first round package. Once you get that full experience actually working and realized, that's when you build the marketing pages, because now you know what this app is, you know what's cool about it. It's time to put that value into focus for your users. And then once you get that in a good place, we're going with our very first show and tell. This is the first demo to the first person. This is the first time somebody's seen it from start to finish. And it's really important that you set the right expectations for this. I've done this so many times, and it's taken me decades to get my brain and heart in sync to the right place where I can take anything now. I can do a demo of anything I build and not get destroyed by it, because when you do a demo, it's basically like putting your heart in a glass jar and handing it to somebody with buttery fingers and being like, hey, don't drop this. The main thing you should be thinking going into this demo is you should be ready for a lot more work to come out of this than you expected. Like, you probably expected to show it to somebody and then be like, wow, this is amazing. Here's my money. Take it. And in reality, what you're going to do, even if it's a great demo, in reality, what you're going to get back is like, oh, they didn't click on that. I thought they would. As a new user, they're getting too confused. You're going to find bugs, of course, but you also might find that you made some strategic mistakes, and this is the time to fix them if you can. If they're, at the same time, you need to balance that with just ship something, like there is definitely a balance here. Startups are all about, reacting in real time. But basically, don't go into this looking for praise. You're looking to see if you sparked something in that person. If they can get a spark of value on something that's really rough, you're in good shape. And then the final refinements before the launch. This is where I'm in right now. This is the final phase. By this time, you should have a list of features that you've cut because you don't need them for your first launch, but you're thinking about where this is going to go. And you're focused on getting a whole experience shipped. And it's all about that first impression, new user experience, that you have that really rounded out. And this is the extra week or two that really seals in that first impressions and gets you a really successful launch. Okay, here is the homepage. So I'm really focused on showing that this is a financial simulator that can actually change your life. It's going to show you the multiple futures that you have in front of you and help you find the best one. So I've got kind of like a preview of how the inside chart is going to work, just to give you kind of a sense of that. And I want to talk about how it works. I want you to be thinking about how you're going to find weaknesses and how you're going to find exciting opportunities somewhere within this simulation. There's a really cool AI financial advisor piece to the app where it knows about your simulation and can interact and actually make changes for you. Got a call to action in the middle, so there's a chance for people to sign up. I didn't really put one in the beginning. There's always one in the header, but I feel like I want you to take this journey a little bit before just hopping off into it. I really want to get you hooked, but I don't want to leave you looking for a way to sign up. So there it is. I really want to highlight the fact that this is financial information, but I'm not asking you to connect any of your accounts. I feel like that's pretty important. I don't want people to think that like, oh, great, now I've got to give some random app, access to my bank, and that's not how this works. This is sort of showing the various ways you can adjust your simulation. I really want to show you that everything you do is got a fast reaction time in the app, and it's going to just really make it easy to play with your life and find new directions. There's a table view in the app. This is super cool. Maybe not for everybody, because I feel like the visualizations are more for everybody. This is a little bit more specific to a type of user, but it's also really, really cool to see it and have it as part of your simulation. And then I really want to talk about the way that this app is rounded out. It's not just the simulation, it's also like managing it. Like, you can keep notes about every little piece of your financial life that you have in here so that you can understand what assumptions you're making. And then also the fact that you can publish this with the world. You can publish it with a partner or, for the public. And I think that's going to be a really viral feature and just a really good way to get the word out. Also, it's just a fun way to set up financial scenarios and then share it with somebody. The only other marketing page at first I'm going to have is the pricing page, and I'm going to start this with a lifetime deal. This is what I'm thinking about. I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to just pick some kind of date in the future to have this kind of tick down. I want to create some urgency around it and then have a lifetime purchase available for this period before flipping it into a subscription service. And I love that because People love lifetime deals. It's a great way to get early adopters, give them a really nice gift, and it also is a good way to get this first set of users because this is an easier commitment than a subscription. So yeah, that's it for right now. I'm really excited for you guys to see this. I hope you're going to be interested actually in it, but either way, I'd love some feedback. So let me know what you're thinking, and I will let you know as soon as this thing launches.